Hello, so today I would like to talk about a very important topic. Why non-technical startup founders fail. Actually, there is 7 reasons why they often fail, and I'm going to flip them through. The first one is because of the technology. Often, when startup founders want to start and build a digital project, digital startups, a startup, they are going to ask to some friends what technology to use or what providers. Do you know a provider that can build my application, etc.? Or maybe they are going to search on Google or maybe find a weird company, could be anywhere in the world. And often the company is going to provide a solution based on what they know, based on the technology they know. But most of the time, what providers do, they just provide what they know and the way they did build project, and it might not the most relevant thing for you and your project. So what's the point? The point is that if you do not select the right technology right from the bat, you could maybe invest 10, 20, often 50, sometimes even 100,000 in a technology that cannot scale or cannot be the right technology for what you want to aim, or maybe at some point you will pivot and you will have invested all your money in one version of your business model, while maybe you will find that it changed and things change, especially when we build a startup. So it is absolutely important to define first the proper technology to build what you want to create. And I would recommend, of course, to reuse existing technologies. That's the first reason. The second reason is when startup founders choose the wrong developer. That's too often. They choose someone they know or someone that is the friend of their friend of a friend or whatever the connection you might have. But this is not because this person is kind, is nice, and answer my question that this is the right person for what I want to build. Maybe he has some skills, and maybe he's very, very good at these type of skills. But again, you need to choose the technology first before choosing what type of developers and then the developers or the providers or the agency you want to work with. And please, just forget working with agencies that knows everything, all the technologies, etc. That's bullshit. You cannot, there are so many technologies you cannot. The best that you can do is that what we try to do ourselves is to be aware of what are the technology that can be the good fit for what type of project. That's what we are very good at. But we are not experts in all those technologies. It does not exist. There are too many technologies, just like Microsoft, IBM, AWS, etc. That's crazy. These type of big companies create crazy things. So you can just be aware of what exists. Third reason why startup fail. That's because their specifications are too vague. They are not precise enough. And it often happens because you try to specify everything. What your project will be in 2 months, what it will be in 5 years, etc., etc. And in that case, you don't know what you are going to build. The developers that is going to read your specifications, he's not going to be able to really get what to build. So he will create his own version, his own vision of what you think, what he thinks is useful for you. And most of the time, that's not going to be what you will expect. So specifications has to be very short, very concise, precise, and aiming a very, very small version, the very first version or the next version of your product. And it should aim to invest the minimum amount version per version. Never try to specify your entire project. It's going to lead you to failure for sure. The fourth reason number 4, the fact that most of developers underestimate. They underestimate the work required to build something. And that's a shame. That's a shame because they are kind. Often they really want to help. They really want to be helpful. And most of the time they do. They spend most of the time like twice or maybe 3 more time than expected on the project until they reach a point where they feel overwhelmed and they recognize or not that it is too much for them. So it's very important to be sure that your developers have enough experience. Do not underestimate the required work to achieve what you want to create. Reason number 5 for startup founders to fail. What is obvious for you as a founder, because you know your business, because you know your company, you know exactly what type of product you want to create, etc. What is obvious to you, it is not for your developer. Let's talk about real feature. It's like an iceberg, you know. When we talk about a mobile application, we talk about the screen we can see, the features it can have, the users can have, etc. But the thing is that there is a downside of the iceberg. And what's that downside? It's the back office, how to manage users, maybe how to manage transactions. If someone asks for a refund, how you are going to provide that refund. If there is a request at some point, how are you going to control this type of request? If you have 10, 20, 100,000 users on your platform, how are you going to handle the support? All that background noise that happen when you build a SaaS platform or a startup or a marketplace or whatever tech business you want to create, and when you will have a large amount of users, it can be a nightmare if you don't have the right tools. And that's what I call the downside of the iceberg. So be sure that what is obvious for you to have, be sure that your developer really understand that. And he have some solution, maybe not developing everything, but he has some solution to help you handle this type of business, day-to-day business, because that's a lot of papers that you will need, paperwork that you will need to take care. Okay, reason number 6 is, if I'm not wrong, the propriety of the source code. The source code dispute is, I think, the reason number one for big mess in startups. When the founder or the technical founder or maybe a provider worked on a project, but he did not share the source code. And at some point, on the beginning, everything is fine, you know. When you find the right person or you find someone who looks kind and great, you move forward with him. You have some good relationship on the beginning because you did not get through real hurricanes and difficulties, etc. So everything is fine. But the day when you start having some difficulties, they maybe missed deadline, they maybe did not implement exactly the way you thought, etc. That's when it becomes tricky. And if you do not have access to the source code, you are just stuck. Because if they want to leave, not only they're going to leave, but they're going to leave with your product. You might have your application on the stores, or maybe your website, or maybe you might have something that you think you have, but if you cannot change anything on your application, not even the color of a button, you are stuck. And you might have spent 10,000, 50,000, whatever the amount of money you spent on the first product of your version, the first version of your product. If you don't have source code, you are stuck. So be sure from the day one to ask to your developer to put all the source code on daily basis on your source code repository. This is mandatory. Usually it could be GitHub, Bitbucket, GitLab, whatever. But you need to have access to your source code. And last but not least, the number one reason for failure is when founders, partners, share equity with the wrong co-founder. It happened too often when you found someone who sounds nice and you offer him to work or to develop your application in exchange of equity of your company. But most of the time, they underestimate the work that needs to get done to achieve your long-term product, to create what exactly you expect. And for all the reasons I just described so far, most of the time it failed. And I mean, among the more than 200 startups that I coached so far, and I worked with so far, in all of them, I never found a new relationship being successful if they did not work at least 6 months to 1 year together on a service-based. So always start on a service-based, ask for some help if you need, and be sure to really be stressed, you and your provider, you and your future partner, and to discover who is that person and how does he behave under high pressure. Because this is what we have when we build a startup. We get very high pressure on a regular basis. So I hope it helps. Anyway, I have a lot of other things to share with you in the upcoming videos. So let me know what you think about this one. It's not only a videos, by the way. Maybe you are listening this on the podcast. And yeah, I would love to know what you think. And you can find us on YouTube and on the podcast, A Mile on CTO's Shoes. I have so much things to share with you. Take care, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye for now.